Do you know that most loan sharks in Nigeria, it is reported that it's owned by Chinese? Why will it not be owned by Chinese? Imagine that if they take 100,000 naira loan from their country, they are expected to pay 3,300 naira. When they come to Nigeria and borrow someone that same 100,000 naira loan, they collect close to 50,000 naira. Who will not use that as business? How financial institutions, both government and private, are killing businesses in Nigeria. Let me share with you my experiences with both of them. Back in 2014, I approached one of the banks in Nigeria for loan, and they asked me to open a corporate account, which I did. And you know the stress of opening a corporate account that time. They now asked that I should operate the account for 6 months, which I did. After 6 months thereabout, I went to them. They said my financial flow was not enough for a loan, that had it been I have a CFO, it would have been better. And you know, based on my struggles through life, I have a land, so I decided to obtain a CFO. And you know the stress of obtaining a CFO, and luckily I obtained my CFO. Can you get it? When I went back to them about the loan again, they started telling me that if they really wanted to give me a loan, the processes of them coming to verify my CFO and all that is going to cost close to 500,000 naira. In which case, when the loan is finally disbursed, they are going to remove that almost 500,000 naira as their service whatever charges before even the loan was disbursed. When I look at this, I now thought that what is this nonsense all about? Just because I needed a loan. Mind you, getting a CFO, everybody knows, is not easy. So that means I had to spend a year or two to obtain that CFO again. So I lost hope. Then when Buhari came with this nicer microfinance, so one of my friends came to me at the initial stage. You know, most of these government intervention, they operate like Ponzi scheme. What do I mean by they operate like Ponzi scheme? They will first rush the loan. They will first give the first batch easy loan, easy access to this loan, in order to attract other people. So when other people come, that is when they will now face them with the harshest of conditions. So what happened? This my friend came, he told me about this loan that they came to the office in Area 10 Abuja. They shared this what they call the form for them to fill. Luckily, at that time I didn't even put I just thought that maybe this normal government shenanigan. Few months time he told me that he had obtained the loan, that I should go ahead and apply. Then the application was still on, which I quickly rushed to apply. I applied, and I even invited some of my friends to come and apply. That in fact I had an evidence of one of my friends whom they gave 10 million naira loan. So we applied. They asked us to go to one of these financial institutions, private institution, where they will teach us, I don't know what they call them, where they will teach us how to do business. We went there and paid 10,000 naira, just 5 days training. We went back, submitted, wrote what do you call business plan, everything that needed to be done. We did it. We waited for like 6 months, in which they called us back for an interview. We went there, we did interview with the hope, a lot of us, and it's not only in that branch in Abuja, it's all over the country. All of us went there, we did interview. They asked us some questions, what do you want to do and all that. In fact, in my phone it was approved that I had passed the interview, waiting for them to ask us to bring pro forma invoice or something like that. In fact, one thing led to the other. One day I just woke up and received a text message that I was not eligible for that loan. In fact, everybody I called that I knew applied at that time, the same message was sent to all of us. How can millions of people not be eligible with just one text message? So that apart again, I left that one. It was hopeless. So I now decided to say, okay, let me approach Bank of Industry again. I approached Bank of Industry because I still had all my documents that I used to apply for that national microfinance. I now thought, since it's a government intervention, it may be political, but at least Bank of Industry, they have their own, that is why it's as it was established. So let me approach it. I approached it. They brought their conditions. Look at one silly condition that they brought. Before they could accept the valuation report of your house. So they only designate only 5 estate surveyors in the whole of Nigeria. How many millions of people, certified estate surveyors, do we have? I studied estate management, so I know about valuation. Even though I have not had my seal, I have friends that had seal, and they could just have come, value the property, give me a valuation report that I will send to them. No, they instead said we should only 5 estate surveyors were designated to carry valuation exercise for Bank of Industry in the whole of Nigeria. How do you think those people are going to charge? Monopoly. When I contacted them, the amount of money they called, it was too much for me, because even the one that could even be that was even ready to do it was in Lagos. So I just said, after passing through a lot of processes, not just in my mind, I now decided to say this one is gone again. So I didn't proceed. Imagine that I have business that I have been running and yet no access to loan. Can you see? That was how this issue of loan shark came up. Loan shark came up. We have no option as businessmen. Certainly we need access to loan, and one of the easiest places to get loan is either you approach your family members, and everybody knows that things are hard. How many people have money to spare before they will now give you to do business? So we really have to rely on government facilities. So that was how we started approaching loan shark. Imagine loan shark that doesn't have your financial history, they don't have your financial record, they only have your BVN, your name, and yet they are willing to give you hundreds of thousands of naira. What makes the loan shark so easy to give you loan that the commercial bank that you have been operating with, and even the government owned bank cannot give you that loan if not in Nigeria? Imagine how many years I said after I started. This was in 2014. This time I'm talking to you now is in 2022. So if that business idea, don't you think it will have been gone throughout this number of years I have been trying to get this facility? That apart, then came this present president with a lot of intervention. He removed subsidy, flowed the dollar, in fact increased exchange rate, and before you knew it, inflation went to the roof. How could business survive? Even to eat, how will it be possible for a business to even survive and still feed your family? And I am a kind of person that I'm very pragmatic about Nigeria's goods. So I decided to apply for all the interventions that he brought, all, not even one I did not apply. Encouraging people, some of the videos I even made in the past have been encouraging people to apply for these interventions. There's one I applied for in Bank of Industry again. It's a federal government intervention fund like that since last year. In April this year, or let me say thereabouts, they sent a message to me that I should send my pro forma invoice. I sent my pro forma invoice. Since that time, they've not gotten to me till now. This is government intervention that is geared towards what? Cushioning the adverse effect of government policies. So on what basis, on what ground are we going to survive trying to apply for loans like this that are not forthcoming? Then I began to ask my bank, why are you not giving us loans? They continue to tell us different kind of technical terms that have no basis with morals. There's no basis with morals, because if you look at it, a bank that you have been doing business with in and out every month, the minimum you put and remove from that bank is not less than 1 million naira. That bank cannot even give you 100 naira. Then a loan shark that it doesn't have your history is now ready to even give you. But recently, this what do you call them? Fair Money is even willing to give me 2.5 million naira. Imagine, but the interest is going to be killing. Why do I have to approach Fair Money Microfinance Bank when I have been doing businesses with what, more than 3 financial commercial banks in Nigeria? Why? This is how they are killing businesses. So if you see people trying to japa abroad, it is not only because they want to go and work there. It's because of the enabling environment for people to grow that is not available in this country. That is what is making most people to japa. And let me tell you, this thing is affecting only middle class, because the lower class cannot even have the guts to approach a bank for loan, because they know they don't have the ability, capacity to pay. And the higher class, they are the ones responsible for siphoning this money, for clearing this money for their businesses. At the end of the day, the middle class is left alone without anything. That is one of the reasons why the middle class is they are eroding, they are removing the middle class from Nigerian system. Recently I looked at it. Even if they give you the loan, look at, just go to Google and Google average interest rate of Nigeria, average interest rate on loans in Nigeria. It is 18 to 30%, while the average interest rate in China is 3.3%. Meaning that if you take 100,000 naira loan in China, you are going to pay 3,300 per annum. While in Nigeria, if you take the same 100,000, you are going to pay 18,000 to 30,000 naira on loan. I mean, if you look at it, that it may be small. If it is 1 million naira loan, you are going to pay 330,000 naira as per, 300,000 naira on interest. If it is 30%, then 180,000 naira if it is 18%. Please, what is the business you are going to do per annum that you are going to make such amount of money before you can break even? Can you see? So now, this is where we find ourselves. My message now to the regulatory agencies, I'm telling you, because I have experienced this and I'm a believer in the system. Even though I have not had any evidence to believe, I believe that one day things will be better. You have to, to the executive, if you give out federal intervention, if you give out intervention to the masses, note that the people who are in charge of that intervention are not really disposing it. Even if they are disposing it, they are disposing it to some of these loan sharks that are now using interest to kill the masses. I hardly rant on national issues, but by this video, I think I have ranted enough. I'm just using it to call on the federal government to look at this and note that without giving out soft loan to businesses, how can we grow? So look at, okay, now, do you know that most loan sharks in Nigeria, it is reported that it's owned by Chinese? Why will it not be owned by Chinese? Imagine that if they take 100,000 naira loan from their country, they are expected to pay 3,300 naira. When they come to Nigeria and borrow someone that same 100,000 naira loan, they collect close to 50,000 naira. Who will not use that as business? How will they not populate our market? Imagine. Now they will be able to pay interest back into their country, and in turn their economy is growing, while Nigerian government will go back to take loan from that country. If we here, we have really take good measures on disbursing loan to middle class or to Nigerians, you will see that we will have been developing, people have been collecting loan, paying their loan, and that will have generated a lot of employment. So when you approach these banks, give me loan, they'll be saying, like one of the banks I approached, give me loan, just payday loan. This one they call payday loan, that they'll just give you 20,000 or 5,000 naira, which is normal. Anybody can run out of cash. You just rush to take 100,000 naira loan, 20,000, even 5,000 naira loan. Imagine that all my 3 commercial banks, all of them used to tell me that I'm not eligible. And when I talk to them, they say it's only salary earners that are eligible. Why are you now taking our money to do business? Why don't you just get us out of your system and only allow salary earners to be your customers? So thank you so much for listening. If you like this video, thumb up as usual, subscribe to all our social media platforms, and always remember to relax and smile.